right now, at this moment, is a version of you that's buried beneath layers of fear, regret, guilt, pain, old stories, broken promises, and dead dreams. And if you're honest, part of you is tired of carrying all that weight. Aren't you? You weren't born to survive under pressure, you were born to rise through it. But you can't ignite your ultimate potential by holding on to things that no longer serve you. Listen to me. Every breakthrough you've been craving, more clarity, more peace, more drive, more passion, it's not waiting for you to add something. It's waiting for you to release something. Letting go isn't about giving up. It's about getting free. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through 9 keys, 9 powerful let go choices that will unlock the door to the life that's been calling your name. Not the life someone else expects from you, the one that was built for you, the one that demands the real you to finally show up. But here's the catch. You don't get to keep your limitations and your transformation. You got to choose. So if you're ready to stop being the person who's just getting through life and become the person who sets it on fire, lean in. Because this isn't just another motivational talk. This is a wake-up call. And your future is listening. Letting go is the first act of power. It's not passive. It's not retreat. It's not surrender. It's war. And the battlefield, it's inside you. Most people think they need to add more to become more strategies, more hustle, more knowledge. But the truth is, transformation doesn't start with addition. It starts with subtraction. You can't step into your future if your hands are still clinging to the past. You can't grab opportunity when you're holding on to excuses. You can't receive greatness if you're still gripping guilt. And I get it. Letting go is hard. We're wired to hold on to people, to habits, to pain, to identities that don't serve us anymore. Why? Because familiar pain feels safer than unfamiliar freedom. At least we know how to suffer the way we've always suffered. At least we know what to expect from staying stuck. But that's not living. That's slow motion dying. You ever see someone carry something for so long they don't even realize it's heavy anymore? That's what we do. We carry stories that were written for a version of us that doesn't exist anymore. We drag around fear dressed up as caution, shame disguised as humility, toxic loyalty pretending to be love. And we say, this is just who I am. No, it's not who you are. It's who you settled into when you stopped believing change was possible. The problem isn't that you don't know what to do. Deep down, you know. The problem is you haven't given yourself permission to release the stuff that's weighing you down. You've gotten comfortable being overloaded. And the more overloaded you are, the more you convince yourself that life is complicated. But it's not. It's just crowded. And here's the truth most people run from. It's not about what life is doing to you. It's about what you're still holding on to that life already tried to take away. That relationship ended. It needed to. That version of you fell apart. Good. That chapter closed. Let it. Because the longer you stay attached to what's gone, the more you delay. See, letting go isn't something weak people do. It's something strong people decide. It's the courage to say, I don't need this anymore. This doesn't fit who I'm becoming. And yes, it's scary. You're going to feel naked at first. You're going to feel like something's missing. But eventually you'll realize that space you created, that's where freedom starts to grow. Letting go is the spark that ignites everything else. You want to feel powerful again? Drop the dead weight. You want to move faster? Take off the armor. You want to feel alive again? Release what's not yours to carry. Because the truth is, most people are walking around in chains, but they're the ones holding the key. No one's coming to lift it off you. That's your job. You have the power, not just the power to survive, but the power to choose what you carry forward. And when you choose to let go of what no longer serves you, you finally make room for what does. This is where it begins, pain. It's the great equalizer. It doesn't matter how much money you have, how strong you are, how smart you are. Pain visits all of us. But the question isn't whether or not you'll feel pain. The question is, what will you do with it? Because for some people, pain becomes a prison. They relive it, recycle it, replay it on loop until it defines them. But for others, pain becomes a portal path, a fire that forges something stronger, deeper, more unshakable. You want to know what separates people who break through from people who stay stuck? It's not talent, it's not background, it's how they relate to their pain. Some people run from it, numb it, deny it. But those who grow, they lean in. They listen to what the pain is trying to teach them. They realize pain isn't the enemy, it's the messenger. See, most people don't understand that pain is part of the growth process. It's the alarm clock of transformation. It's not there to punish you. It's there to wake you up. You think the heartbreak was there to break you? No. It was there to break open the walls you built around your heart. You think the failure was proof you're not good enough? No. That failure stripped away what was fake so you could finally build something real. But what we tend to do is bury it, push it down, tell ourselves, I'm fine. But you can't heal what you won't face. And you can't outrun something that lives inside you. You've got to go through it. That's the part nobody tells you. The only way to freedom is straight through the fire. But when you come out on the other side, you don't just survive, you evolve. Pain is honest. It shows you exactly where you've been holding back, exactly where you've been lying to yourself. It forces you to confront what you'd rather ignore. And that confrontation, that's your chance. That's the doorway. That's the moment your story can shift, not because life got easier, but because you got real. You've got to stop asking, why did this happen to me? And start asking, what is this trying to build in me? That's where power is born. Not in avoiding pain, but in extracting the lesson. Using it as leverage. Let it become your blueprint for resilience, for purpose, for certainty. Because once you own your pain, it can't own you anymore. You want to know what pain really is? It's proof you cared. It's proof you tried. It's proof that something inside you is still alive, still reaching, still fighting. And that, right there, that fire is your edge. That's what gives your life depth, texture, substance, but only if you use it. So if you're carrying pain right now, good. That means there's still power inside you. That means you still have something worth fighting for. But don't let that pain sit still. Move with it. Learn from it. Let it burn off everything that's false until only what's real remains. Because pain can do one of two things. It can destroy you or it can deliver you. And the difference isn't the pain itself. The difference is what you decide to do with it. Your identity is not your history. Let me say that again. Your identity is not your history. But most people live like it is. They walk around wearing their past like a name tag. Hi, I'm the one who got cheated on. Hi, I'm the one who failed the business. I'm the one who wasn't enough. And they wonder why they can't move forward. It's because they keep introducing themselves by their wounds instead of their worth. But here's the truth. You are not your past decisions, your worst moments, or the things that happened to you when you were too young to defend yourself. You are not the labels someone else gave you. You are not your trauma. You are not your mistakes. You're not even your successes. You're something far more powerful. You are what you decide to become today The problem is most people are living inside an identity they didn't even choose. They picked it up from a parent who was broken, from a teacher who didn't see them, from a partner who made them feel small. And over time, that story became a belief, and that belief became a cage. So now, anytime they try to rise, they hit the walls of their own narrative. But listen to me, just because you've lived one way up until now doesn't mean you have to keep living that way. Just because you've been something doesn't mean you are that thing. You can rewrite the whole script. You can flip the whole game, but only if you're willing to let go of the identity that's been built on survival and start choosing the one that's aligned with vision. See, most people have this inner thermostat, this identity setting that keeps them locked at a certain level. They start to grow, start to rise, start to win, and then bam, they sabotage it. Why? Because the success doesn't match the story they've been telling themselves for years. And the story always wins unless you change it. So ask yourself, what story have you been carrying that's too small for your future? Maybe it's the story that says, I'm not smart enough, or people like me don't get ahead, or I always mess things up. Whatever it is, you've got to disrupt that voice, because that voice isn't truth, it's just repetition. And repetition isn't reality, it's just what you've practiced. So if you can practice limitation, you can also practice liberation. If you can rehearse pain, you can also rehearse power. It's a choice, not once, every day, over and over, until the new identity sticks. But here's the secret. Identity doesn't shift by thinking about it. You've got to act your way into it. You've got to take the bold move before you feel ready. You've got to speak like the future you. Move like the future you. Show up like the version of you that doesn't shrink around fear or play small around greatness. You become who you believe you are. And that belief is shaped by the decisions you make when no one's watching. So if your life isn't reflecting the person you know you could be, it's time to ask, who am I still pretending to be? And then let that version go. Not out of anger, but out of clarity. Because you finally see it's not who you are, it's just who you were taught to be. And when you let go of the identity that was built in survival, you finally give birth to the identity that was built for significance. Clarity doesn't come from thinking harder. It doesn't come from obsessing over the same problem again and again, turning it over in your head like a Rubik's Cube you never solve. It doesn't come from piling more on your plate, adding more books to the shelf, more tabs to the browser, more noise to the room. Clarity comes when you let go, when you remove, when you stop trying to force answers and start making space for them to find you. But here's the problem. Most people are addicted to clutter. Mental clutter, emotional clutter, spiritual clutter. They're carrying so many unresolved issues, so many half-finished thoughts, so many unhealed wounds, they can't even hear their own voice anymore. They don't know what they want because they never made space to find out. Their life feels complicated, not because life is, but because their mind is crowded. We live in a world that rewards busyness, that celebrates distraction, that tells you if you're not doing 12 things at once, you're falling behind. But let me tell you something. Focus is the new superpower. And you can't focus when your energy is scattered across 100 things you haven't let go of. You want clarity in your life? Start subtracting, start cutting, start releasing. Let go of the opinions that don't matter, the expectations that don't serve you, the guilt that was never yours to carry. Let go of needing everyone's approval. Let go of the pressure to do it all, be it all, prove it all. Because until you clear the inner clutter, even the best strategy won't stick. Clarity isn't found in chaos, it's found in stillness, in the quiet space where your truth rises to the surface. But if your inner world is filled with noise, judgment, fear, comparison, You'll never hear it. You'll be chasing clarity externally while it's sitting inside you, blocked by everything you haven't yet released. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is pause. Step back, get quiet. Ask yourself, what am I holding on to that's keeping me confused? Because confusion is not a lack of intelligence. It's a sign you've got too much input and not enough alignment. And alignment only happens when you make space for it. When you start letting go of the unnecessary stops running your life. You begin to see what actually matters, what's real, what's yours. And when you get clear, really clear, decisions become simple. Not always easy, but simple. Because now you're not choosing based on fear, you're choosing based on vision. You're not moving from panic, you're moving from power. So many people are trying to chase success while dragging a tangled net of unresolved stories, distractions, and outdated goals behind them. No wonder they're exhausted. No wonder they feel stuck. They've got too many tabs open in their mind, and none of them are helping them move forward. You want a breakthrough? You don't need more information. You need more elimination. Strip it down to what matters. Get rid of the emotional weight. Let go of the noise. Free yourself from the patterns that keep pulling you back into fog and frustration. And what's left when all that's gone? Clarity. The kind that feels like truth. The kind that gives you direction. The kind that creates momentum. You don't find your path by adding more roads. You find it by clearing the one that was always yours. Forgiveness. Let's talk about it, not in the way that sounds nice on a greeting card, not in the surface level way that people say just to check a box. I'm talking about real forgiveness, the kind that cuts deep, the kind that changes you, the kind that sets you free. Most people misunderstand forgiveness. They think it means saying what happened was okay, that it means excusing the person or pretending the pain didn't matter. No, that's not what it is at all. Forgiveness isn't about them. It's about you. It's about reclaiming your energy from something or someone that's been holding it hostage for too long. See, every time you replay that betrayal, that rejection, that hurt, you're giving away power. Every time you let your past dictate your present, you're handing the steering wheel of your life to something that should have been left behind. And you might think you've moved on because you're functioning, you're doing life, you've got responsibilities. But deep down, if you're still bitter, still tense, still angry, then part of you is still chained to what happened. Forgiveness is how you unchain yourself. It's not easy. In fact, it can feel like the hardest thing in the world, especially when the person never apologized, never took ownership, never made it right. But here's the truth. Waiting on someone else to make peace before you can move forward is giving them way too much control. You don't need closure from them. You need a decision within you. Because as long as you keep holding on to resentment, it keeps holding on to you. It shows up in your relationships, in your health, in your energy. That anger you think you're managing, it leaks. That bitterness you've justified, it builds walls where bridges should be. And before long, you're not just protecting yourself, you're isolating yourself. But when you forgive, not forget, not excuse, forgive. You reclaim your peace. You stop letting someone else's brokenness define your future. You say, what happened hurt, but it no longer owns me. That's power. That's freedom. That's where transformation begins. You got to understand, there's a cost to carrying resentment. It's not free. It drains your joy. It clouds your mind. It weighs down your spirit. And what you carry, you pass on. If you don't break the cycle, you become the cycle. And that's not who you were born to be. Now let's be real. It's easier to stay angry. It feels safer to stay guarded. But easy and safe don't change lives. You can't grow and protect your pain at the same time. You've got to choose, do I want to be right or do I want to be free? Do I want to keep reliving the hurt, or do I want to rewrite the story? And sometimes the person you most need to forgive is you. For the mistakes, for the poor decisions, for the moments you didn't know better. You've punished yourself long enough. You've paid the price over and over in guilt and shame. It's time to let yourself off the hook and move forward with wisdom, not wait. Forgiveness isn't a one-time thing. It's a muscle. You build it over time. You choose it every day until the pain no longer holds power over your peace. And when you finally let go, really let go, you realize the prison you were in never had a locked door. You just hadn't walked out yet. And today, it's time to walk out. Let's get honest. Control is a lie we tell ourselves to feel safe. It's the illusion we chase to avoid uncertainty, to quiet our fear, to feel like we're steering the wheel of life. But deep down, you already know the truth. Control is limited, fragile, conditional. You can't control other people. You can't control outcomes. You can't control timing. The only thing you ever have full control over is you. Your focus, your decisions, your energy, your response. But most people spend so much of their life trying to grip what can't be held. They micromanage everything, trying to script every moment, every person, every scenario. And all it does is drain them. It creates frustration because life doesn't follow your script. People don't play their roles. Timing doesn't cooperate. And in that gap between how you wanted it to go and how it's really going, you suffer. But don't confuse this. This isn't about apathy or giving up. This is about letting go of the illusion that you can control everything and embracing the power that comes when you stop fighting what's outside of your reach. Because the truth is, when you stop trying to control everything, you finally get to influence what matters most. See, trying to control everything is actually rooted in fear. Fear of losing, fear of rejection, fear of pain. Fear that if you don't grip tight enough, things will fall apart. But ironically, it's the tight grip that creates the tension, the burnout, the anxiety, and letting go. That's where real strength lives. Letting go isn't passive, it's not weakness, it's trust. It's choosing to move forward even when the path isn't fully visible. It's taking action without needing guarantees. It's surrendering to the flow of life while still showing up as the highest version of yourself. Most people don't realize that what they're calling control is actually just self-protection. It's building walls. It's putting up armor, constantly bracing for what could go wrong. But you can't live fully armored and fully alive at the same time. You've got to drop the armor. You've got to release the need to have every answer. You've got to get comfortable being in motion without needing to know every turn in advance. There's incredible peace that comes when you finally accept that you don't need to control everything to create an extraordinary life. Because that peace becomes presence, and presence is power. When you stop obsessing over what might happen, you become available for what is happening. You start noticing the openings, the insights, the opportunities you used to miss because you were too busy trying to predict what came next. Letting go of control is how you learn to dance with life instead of wrestle it. It's how you become fluid instead of rigid. It's how you move from force to flow. And when you get into flow, things start to align. Not because everything outside changes, but because you change. You stop trying to manipulate outcomes and start magnetizing them. You stop chasing and you start attracting. That's not magic, that's alignment. So the invitation is simple but powerful. Stop gripping. Start trusting. Start trusting your ability to adapt. Start trusting that even when it doesn't go to plan, you'll still rise. Start trusting that life isn't always happening to you, it's often happening for you in ways you don't see until you stop resisting. And when you truly let go of what you can't control, you unlock what you can, and that's where your real power begins.